Many thanks for staying with us. The Edo State government has pledged agricultural funds worth 100 million naira in addition to 150 hectares of land for farming as part of incentives to 150 returnees and other victims of human trafficking who have just concluded a 2-week agricultural training program in Benin City, the state capital. The governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, reiterated his administration's commitment to wealth creation for the youth in a bid to reduce illegal migration.
150 Libya returnees and other victims of human trafficking of Edo State origin gave a rousing welcome to the governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki. A 2-week agricultural training workshop, courtesy of the Edo State government, at the Agricultural Development Program Office in Benin City, the Edo State capital, comes to a close.
We have graciously approved the training that have enabled them to see the opportunities that is everywhere in Nigeria. And today, their potential is highly harnessed. They are ready to hit the ground running if they are given the needed opportunity. And they have vast experience in the area they have never done before in the agricultural sector.
Some of the trainees applaud the state government for the empowerment.
Returnees as at then, when you just hide your face because it's like a shame, they label you like a failure. But now, he has given us the ground to speak, to come out and be empowered.
The facilitator of the program restates government's commitment to taking good care of its citizens, irrespective of their misadventures in life.
You are victims of a country that has failed you. You are victims of a system that did not give you the right education so that you could get work. You are victims of a system that did not give you hope. And therefore, you fell victims of people who came to traffic you. So you are victims. And as victims, we as a government cannot let you to continue to be victims.
Mr. Obaseki also announces more incentives for the beneficiaries.
I am immediately approving that 150 hectares of land be made available to you. I am approving 100 million naira as seed capital.
The Edo State government maintains that the empowerment of these returnees is not meant to encourage illegal migration. Rather, it's to be a lesson for the youth that there is a government that cares for them right here at home.
From Edo, we move to Cross River State, where the government has begun the journey leading to the construction of the Bakassi deep sea port following the appointment of a financial transaction advisor by the federal government. The governor, Ben Ayade, during the signing of the transaction advisory contract between the Cross River State government and the advisor, called for the support of the federal government so the project can be realized.
This is the proposed site for the Bakassi deep sea port. Upon completion, the port will be a 16 meters draft and will accommodate mother vessels from other countries. The state government has put the project cost at about 300 billion naira. Because of this huge financial implication, the government has invited some Chinese firms who've shown interest in the project to visit the site where it will be constructed. Things are indeed looking good for the project, as after several months of negotiations, the federal government has finally approved the appointment of a financial transaction advisor for it. This was made known when the committee visited Governor Ben Ayade in Calabar, the state capital.
This is the first time that the appointment of a transaction advisor went to due process stage by stage. It is not easy that your own project, you don't take ownership as in say you want to teleguide the committee. We were not teleguided in any way, any form at all. So just seamlessly we're going. And I was surprised. I kept asking Dr. Francis, where is this place? No? So thank you very much for giving us a very free hand to operate, and we can assure you throughout the process we went through, I think today he is the best man for the job.
For the governor, the deep sea port will provide a new economic base and give the Bakassi people a sense of belonging.
It will also be a model port to all the ports in Lagos. This port will be the real port for Africa, and that's why, without any technical reason, I'm emotionally fixed, based on my literature study, that the port should not be less than 20 meters in terms of draft. that will give it the deepest port in Africa. Because the deepest port today in Africa is the port out of South Africa, which is 14 meters draft.
With all modalities completed, the indigents of Bakassi will be waiting to see the completion of the project, which is expected to help them gain economic advantage.
166.9 billion naira. That's what the Anambra state government hopes to spend in 2018 in a bid to enhance good governance and make life better for the people. This is the figure presented to the Anambra State House of Assembly by Governor Willie Obiano as the budget estimate for the 2018 fiscal year.
Fresh from the just concluded governorship elections, Governor Willie Obiano makes his way into the main chambers of the Anambra State House of Assembly to perform a crucial function that would determine the direction of his administration in 2018. Shortly after his arrival, Governor Obiano mounts the podium for the presentation of the budget estimate, which he christens Budget of Value for Money, Economic Diversification and Job Creation.
We are proposing a budget size of 166.9 billion naira, of which the state expects to spend 63.8 billion on recurrent expenditure and 103.03 billion on capital expenditure to drive our policy thrust on value for money, economic diversification and job creation.
The breakdown of the proposed budget has roads and other infrastructure projects taking the largest share of 27.93 billion naira, followed by education with 9.5 billion and 7.8 billion naira for the health sector. Community social development has a proposed share of 7.5 billion naira, water resources and public utilities 5.1 billion naira. Youth empowerment and development has 5 billion naira, while agriculture takes 3.8 billion. 1 billion naira is proposed for SMEs development.
This budget is the first meaningful step towards consolidation of our previous performance to transform Anambra into a hub for business and investment, as well as the poster boy for the inclusiveness and sustainable development in Nigeria.
In a separate interview, the State Commissioner for Budget, Economic Planning and Development explains how the state government hopes to apply the proposed budget to diversify the state's economy.
We are self-sufficient on rice production, but now we're tilting it towards export-driven commodities. So the sort of projects we'll be looking at in the area of agriculture would be things we can export to diversify our economy.
With the 2018 budget presented, the House of Assembly is expected to deliberate on the content and come up with a decision that will capture the actual needs of the people.
Now let's find out how the local currency is doing, and will be giving us the details on this news.
Thanks a lot, Melinda. Yes, Nigeria's local currency, the naira, has strengthened by 30.3% since February, when the Central Bank of Nigeria began its aggressive intervention at the foreign exchange market. This follows a series of constant dollar injections amounting to over $3.6 billion to meet the demand of end users. The naira is currently around 364 to the dollar at the parallel market after reaching a peak of 520 earlier this year. In the meantime, the CBN has promised to do more to ease the pressure on the local currency. And let's see how the Nigerian Stock Exchange fared at the close of trading this week. It ended the last trading week of November mostly in the green in 3 out of 4 sessions, as financial markets closed on Friday for the Muslim holiday. The benchmark all-share index rose by 1.55% to close a few steps away from the 38,000 mark, while the total value of equities increased by 1.58% to 13.2 trillion naira. The positive trend follows bullish sentiment recorded across all the counters of the market, particularly the insurance sector, which closed the week up by 1.5%. Now, when you compare it with the previous week, a total of 14.2 billion shares worth over 35.05 billion naira were traded by investors in 17,379 transactions. Transcorp, WAPIC and Fidelity Bank were the highest contributors to the total volume of shares. The market recorded 39 prize gainers and 23 losers, while 109 equities remained unchanged. The managing director of the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation, Mr. Umar Ibrahim, says the agency has paid a total of 105 billion naira to 442,615 depositors of closed deposit money banks. Mr. Ibrahim, who disclosed this at the ongoing 38th Kano International Trade Fair, adds that the corporation has paid a cumulative sum of 2.8 billion naira to 525,009 depositors of closed microfinance banks and 60 million naira to 756 depositors of closed primary mortgage banks. The NDIC boss has advised depositors to patronize only financial institutions that have been licensed by the Central Bank of Nigeria. British lender and financial services provider Barclays says it will sell a 7% stake in Johannesburg-based Barclays Africa Group, and that will happen on December the 5th this year. It is the British bank's latest and likely its last in a series of such sales as it ends more than 90 years as a major presence on the continent. Barclays first announced in March 2016 that it will sell most of its then 62% stake in Barclays Africa over 2 to 3 years to refocus its strategy on the United States and Britain under Chief Executive Jess Staley. Well, according to the lender, after that sale, its stake in the African division will be 14.9%, which now represents its desired long-term goal. And that is business news for this week. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you a profitable week ahead. I'm Anne Nwawadu. It's back to you, Melinda.
Many thanks, Anne. In Ogun State, unity, selflessness and giving back to one's community are some of the virtues the governor, Ibikunle Amosu, wants indigents to imbibe for national development. Governor Amosu revealed this during the 2017 annual celebration of Sons and Daughters of Bagura community in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. Awards presentation to some illustrious indigents formed part of this event.
Number one, to love one another and to add value, to give back to our roots. Whatever we are in life, we are from somewhere. And that's why I'm happy that our people, not because I'm seeing them, all of them, they run around every year like this to have this. By doing this, they will develop their place. People will contribute. It is not about bringing 1 billion, even if it is 1 naira that you have, and you are contributing. That is how the place will develop. So I want to thank them, and I want to wish them well and appreciate their effort.
Governor of Ogun State, Ibikunle Amosu, and there's more celebration in River State because the Yuletide season is here, and the governor is calling for Christians in and outside Nigeria to remember the reason for the season. Governor Nyesom Wike made this remark during the lighting up ceremony of the Christmas lights in Port Harcourt, the state capital, and our correspondent Emmanuel Ray has more.
Sitting in the heart of Port Harcourt, the River State capital, on an area previously reported as a den of criminals, is the Port Harcourt Pleasure Park, now the city's main recreation center. For the River State Governor Nyesom Wike, the celebrations ushering in the Yuletide season begins from here, as the lights come on, beautifying the night. And then the fun begins for the children, family, friends and tourists. Enjoying the ambience and the joy of the season's celebration.
We have all come here today to light up this area. You can see how beautiful it is. You can see that, I don't know where you have it kind. in the whole of Nigeria. And look at the kind of expatriates that you have here. We are very happy, I must tell you, we are very, very happy. I never knew that it would turn out this way. And when I was told to come, that look, come and see what's happening, I said, okay, let me just come and see. I'm coming here to see it. We are very, very happy, and we thank God for His grace. We thank God for the life He's given to us. And we thank God for the security He's been able to give to this state. Without security, we will not be here today, and we are very happy.
For many, the Yuletide season comes with the lights, the colors, and celebration. For some, it's time to take stock. But it's an age-long advice and perhaps a valid one to slow down, smell the roses, and be grateful. Season's greetings. Emmanuel Iri, Channels Television News.
Still ahead on the news at 10. In the English Premier League, 10-man Manchester United beat Arsenal 3-1 in a keenly contested encounter at the Emirates. That's on Sports News. Join us again.